shut out the Philadelphia Flyers 4-0, led by Alexander Georgiev. Really played very well. Obviously, they're facing a Flyer team that is out of it, that did lose 9-2 the night before. Flyers came out strong, very strong. The first 5 to 10 minutes, it was all Philly. But Georgiev at that point made a bunch of key saves. And so this was a shutout that was well-earned. And this is now his 6th straight start with a victory. And like I said, in his last start, which was at New Jersey, not all of those starts were necessarily well played by Georgiev, but some of them were really good. And he basically was someone who, at Carolina, put the team on his back. And I thought he played really well at the Devils. So it's been mostly good lately. You know, there was the game at Detroit that I think he was awful. And then, you know, home against Buffalo, home against Anaheim to a lesser degree. But when he's been in there, they've been winning. And in this case, he was a major reason for that. And then as far as the skaters are concerned, Kakko, in his 3rd game back, he scores 2 goals. So those are really the big stars of the night. Georgiev and net, Kakko scoring the first 2 goals of the game. And I thought Chytil as well played well. Chytil made a really nice pass on the second Kakko goal. What's interesting is Alexis Lafreniere was a healthy scratch. So, and I think you could really say many reasons for why that was. One of them being the fact that, you know, he's never played an 82-game schedule. And his play has dipped a bit lately. I can't say I expect him to be healthy scratch. This is the first time that he's been healthy scratch since he's been a Ranger. But I understand it. What's interesting is with the combination of Lafreniere being healthy scratch and the fact that the Chytil line, he came back from an injury and looked fine. Chytil with Goodrow and Kakko looked so good. That puts Lafreniere in an interesting situation. He'll play next game. I think the thought would have been that Goodrow moves down to the 4th line and it'd be the kid line, which I have reservations about that. I think it's interesting. I think offensively it could produce. Defensively, I am concerned about that line, but because Lafreniere is not going to play on the 4th line. That's just not going to happen. So there is a world in which Alexis Lafreniere could be a healthy scratch come playoff time. Not saying it's going to happen, but it's possible that it does. And so I think that's a very interesting sort of storyline that comes out of this game. And again, for the main reason that line, that 3rd line, played really well. Was a really good line. And granted, against a Flyer team that's checked out, but still, it was very good. And defense was the same. Patrick Nemeth was out again. But I think against Detroit, Lafreniere comes back in, and one would assume that Reeves or Hunt would come out, but maybe someone else will be a scratch that maybe we weren't expecting. But, you know, the Rangers got off to that slow start. Flyers really were dominating for the first 5 to 10 minutes. And then Kakko really just moves in all alone and rips it past Sandstrom, the Flyer goaltender. And so Kakko, that's his 6th goal of the season. You know, keeping in mind that he hasn't played. This is his 3rd game. He's missed a lot of time. So Kakko scores, assisted by Goodrow and Keandre Miller. So it was a good night for Barclay Goodrow, I felt. I think he's better on the wing. To me, I think you want him to take faceoffs just because, not that he's like amazing at it, but certainly better than the likes of Chytil, Ryan Strome. The list goes on and on. So I like him taking faceoffs but playing wing. But Kakko from Goodrow and Keandre Miller, I thought, again, that Miller-Trouba pair was their best pair tonight. No question about it, as it's mostly been that way for a while. So the Rangers are up 1-0. And then the Rangers would get a 5-on-3 for 1 minute and 55 seconds and did nothing with it. The power play did struggle tonight, specifically that situation. I feel like with Kreider still in search of getting this all-time single-season goal record, I feel like in some ways that's affecting the power play. I feel like they're trying to make the perfect play to him, but that's also making excuses. But that was disappointing. And then during that power play, the 5-on-3, Lawton and Kreider go off coincidental minors. So that obviously doesn't help Kreider not being a part of a lot of that 5-on-3. But the Rangers played better as the period progressed, and they take that 1-0 lead into the second. And then Keandre Miller does take a penalty 20 seconds into the second period. Rangers PK does the job. And then it would be the second goal of the game for Kakko, his 7th goal of the season from Chytil, 8:22, 2-0 Rangers. That's Kakko's 6th career 2-goal game, which I think would probably come as a surprise to some. Clearly, this is someone that when he's feeling right, he can score goals because, Kakko hasn't played that many NHL games. To already have 6 career 2-goal games is pretty impressive. And so the Rangers take that 2-0 lead, and then they would make it 3-0. Artemi Panarin scores again. His 22nd goal of the season, assisted by Jacob Trouba. It was a really nice play where Trouba at the blue line just fires a pass to a wide-open Panarin, and he scores easily. Gives the Rangers a 3-0 lead at that time, and they wouldn't look back. And then later in the period, Kevin Hayes and Barclay Goodrow go off. Goodrow has really been just kind of an annoying. You could already see he's an annoying player to go against. I didn't realize he's a bit of an agitator. He really is. He does not he gets under the skin of oppositions. And so that happens. And then there's a delay of game penalty on the Flyers at the end of the second, but the Rangers don't score. So we go to the third, but the Rangers up 3-0. And there was not many stoppages in the third, which was good. Rangers they kept on playing, not a whole lot of action in the third. Eventually, Adam Fox takes a slashing penalty at 17:41, and I still don't love Adam Fox's game. That is someone who I really think could use a blow. I really think that let him rest at some point, whether that be a game or two or just limiting his ice time. I don't like what I've seen from Adam Fox. He takes that penalty, and on the penalty kill, the Flyers would pull the goalie, so it's 6-on-4, and Andrew Kopp scores into the empty net. He continues just putting up ridiculous stats with the Rangers. Give an assist to Goodrow, his 2nd assist of the night. Give an assist to Trouba, his 2nd assist on the night. So the Rangers take a 4-0 lead, and after that goal, Konechny and Goodrow would both get 10-minute misconducts. So again, just Goodrow, we've seen it a lot from him lately, and I don't mind it. And then the Rangers would kill off the rest of that Fox penalty, giving Georgiev the shutout and an easy 4-0 win by the Rangers. A nice response after the Carolina game. In fact, not that it's easy to say this, although to be fair, Georgiev did this against Carolina at Carolina. If Georgiev tonight did what, if Shesterkin had performed the way Georgiev did tonight, we could have been looking at a different result with that Ranger-Carolina game. But that's here nor there. Rangers, nice bounce back. So now they sit 7 points ahead of Pittsburgh with the same amount of games being played. So you're looking pretty good. Like I said, home ice is very much basically a sure thing. And now the Rangers are 2 points behind Carolina. Carolina does have a game in hand. And that game in hand is coming up versus the Detroit Red Wings, who the Rangers play next. So that'll be interesting. You'd expect Carolina to beat Detroit, but then the Rangers play Detroit as well. And Detroit's on the road for both of those games. The Rangers have 7 games left. 5 of them at home, 2 of them on the road. And so, catching Carolina, it's still in play because of the fact the Rangers still do play the Hurricanes. So the division race is not done, but even if they don't win, as I've said, not the end of the world whatsoever. In fact, it might even be beneficial. So a nice win by the Rangers as they shut out the Philadelphia Flyers in Philly 4-0.